What's the first thing you noticed about me when we met, and do you still notice now?
First time I really saw you, first thing I noticed about you, she has a nice beard. Oh, handsome guys are like me.
One person is the friendly one, finds it easy to make friends, and the other person is a little bit more reserved. And
I should have felt relief, but then I saw you coming, and you like market, so you're. What was it memorable for you?
Yeah, it was memorable for me because it was at the time when we just had our first child.
So opposite attracts, and in this video I want to give you the pros and the cons.
You know how there are particular times in our marriage where we get too busy and we're not focusing on our relationship, and it feels like we are a little bit estranged from each other. I think one good thing that happens to us is the fact that we did premarital counseling, which put in our minds what the ideal situation should be in a marriage. So when stuff like that starts happening, alarm bells start going off in our heads, and we try to work towards it, right? And it's not that there's no time in the marriage where you're going to feel as though you get too busy. There are times like that. You get too busy, you forget to invest a lot into your relationship to make it as wonderful as it can be. Do you understand? And one of the things that I'm grateful we both did, like I said before, is premarital counseling. That's why it's very important that we keep saying it, that premarital counseling is so important for any relationship. So I think one of the things we did recently, one of the structures we put in place.
So I wanted to, before you go on, I wanted to talk just a bit about some of the alarms we have, that go off in our head.
True.
For example, if it's been like a period of time and we've not had sex, maybe like a week, and I'm not on my period, that's like an alarm. Because like sex is physical intimacy, and if we've not been physically intimate, like there's something deeper.
As you said, a week, I just realized that for some people that's not long.
So I mean,
that's too long. That's like alarmingly long for us.
For us that's long. So we've gone a week and I'm not on my period, I'm not sick, he didn't travel, like we're in the same house and it's been a week without sex. That's an alarm that goes off. Okay, what's happening? There must be a deeper reason as to why we have not had sex this week, and we need to address it. So just wanted to point out one of those alarms. What would another alarm be?
Maybe another alarm would be we've not really connected.
Like, we just feel disconnected. From each other.
In some way. Like there's some things about your week that have happened to you that I don't know about. Something that happened to me that you don't know about. Do you understand? I think one apart from the solution I'm going to say that we have for that, I'm going to talk about another solution, which is sometimes we just talk. So we find out, okay, what's going on with you, like mentally? Are you okay? Like what's not that? Are you okay? What's going through your mind? And that's one question that I really enjoy that we ask each other. Like what are you thinking about right now? And just having that freedom to just say, okay, this is what's on my mind. No matter how weird it might seem, no matter how falsely accusatory it might sound, right? We are comfortable to just tell each other, and then we take it from there and talk. And then when we talk about it, it just makes everything gets better. Another solution that we have is we have a bank of questions. So we just set out a particular time at night. No, not at night. Might be at night. Might be during the day. Just some like an hour thereabouts, where we can just sit down and talk about, okay, ask each other those questions. And know
like where your head is
where our head is at, and connect.
Just to help us connect. Sometimes like 30 minutes, not often an hour. We just have a time every day where we ensure we're creating time to connect, because we have learned that we should not assume that we'll be intimate just because we are constantly in each other's space.
True.
Even if you're in each other's space, you have to take time out to
now that
really
I'm working from home, so
yes, exactly.
I think we made that mistake to think that now that I'm working from home,
like we're always together, so we should be connected at all times, right?
Yes. Well, so we just want to let you guys into that solution that we
created.
Where we ask each other questions about us, and then we have conversations about that. So that's what this is about. It's nothing, there's no structure. There's small structure, but there's no structure. We just want to give you a sneak peek into that system for us. So questions like, what's the first thing you noticed about me when we met? And do you still notice that?
I think one of the first things I noticed about you when we met, like the first time I met you, like your face was covered because it was the night, you were wearing a hood, you're opposite me and we're eating. But the first time I really saw you, you know, first thing I noticed about you was like, oh, this guy is like really handsome and he has a nice beard. And just like, I just noticed that you were a handsome guy, you know. And at that time, I had this fear and stereotype in my head that, oh, handsome guys are like mean and just toxic and self-centered, you know, in particular. So I was just like, immediately I noticed that, oh, this guy is handsome, you know, you're fine, you have beards. I just say, toxic, self-centered guy loading. But as I got to know you, I saw that, oh, you were the opposite of that. You were very caring, you saw me, you looked out for me, and I still see those things still today. I mean, on Sunday, I told you that on Sunday you were preaching and I was just admiring you. And I think that's like one of the blessings of being a pastor's wife, because I feel like other people in church can see the pastor preaching and I'm just like, oh my God, this is such a like handsome man or a fine man or a good man. But the admiration is not personal. It's just like from afar. But for you, the spouse, you get to look at this person and say, wow, like this person is so handsome, so charismatic, everything. And they are my husband. Like I get to go home with this person. Like I don't have to toast them. Like I already have them, that kind of thing. So it's just awesome that I can still look at you and see those things. I can still see you as the handsome man I married. And that has not changed. I still see you as the good and kind man I married. Because for some people, their physical looks don't change. You know, as time goes by, everybody's look change. But your look doesn't really change. But because of your character, you are now ugly. Exactly.
You're not ugly to the person.
Yes, you're now ugly because, I mean, when I met you, I didn't know you had all those toxic things. But now I've come to see them, which has now tainted your beauty. But for you, it's not been that way,
I think two things for me. I think the first one was, and when we met, I didn't see your face. So that was there. But when we met, normally I got to know you and everything. I realized how empathetic you were. Like, how you go out of your way for someone else. Like, you really care about the well-being of someone. So recently, I was working and you brought food for me and I said thank you. And I just thought about the fact that you're very careful to look out for my needs. Even when I was not thinking about it. So I was one time we were having a meeting and I came out to just say hi to you. And then you came to say hi to me. And you said, oh, you're hungry, Abby. And I was just like, how did you know I'm hungry? You say you can see it in my eyes. I'm just like, wait, I don't understand. This is in my eyes are the right need food or something. But just that you anticipate my needs and you go out of your way for them. Like yesterday when I came out from the gym and I went to pick you at your friend's place and I called you to come. And it was taking some time. And I just felt, oh, maybe you guys were rounding up something and stuff. So I didn't really mind. And then you called me to tell me, oh, sorry, it's taking time. This is what I'm doing. I'm coming. Just that fact that you called me to tell me, like, it showed so much. It showed respect. It showed love. It showed that you were thinking about me. The fact that I was waiting in the car. Like, I don't take it for granted. So that's the first one. Second one was when I met you first, like I said, it was dark. I couldn't see your face. I think you were even backing me to some extent. I heard your voice and I heard you laugh. I was like, wow, it's so musical. Good. Like, I could listen to you. That's I could listen to you talk.
Hey, you're making me shy.
I could listen to you talk. I could listen to you laugh for forever. And you talk a lot. So I'm glad that I get to listen to you. I mean, when we first got married, we had a problem that I was always sleeping off while you were talking. Like, I just like listening to you. That it puts me to sleep. Not in a bad way, but in a way that it's kind of soothing to me. So whenever you're gisting me about stuff, I don't know if you realize I like hearing you gist me about stuff. So whenever you're gisting me about stuff, I like listening to your voice. So yeah, I still notice it up to now. And I'm still thankful for it till now.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought of something like just if a guy tells a lady like, oh, I love your voice so much, it puts me to sleep. Like, just view it as, don't view it as you have a bad voice. Just view it as, oh, you have a soothing voice, you know. It's not always a bad thing. Anyway, just putting that out there.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been married for 5 years, going on 6 now. And obviously we've had tough times in our life, in our marriage. Times where something must have happened that didn't sit well with you. I did something that didn't sit well with you. So I guess what I'm trying to ask is, what was the hardest thing for you to forgive me for in our marriage?
Yeah, I think this was the second year in our marriage. This was the second year in our marriage. And the first year in our marriage, on my birthday, I was pregnant. My first birthday. Yes, my first birthday as a married woman, I was pregnant.
Yeah, so we really couldn't do anything.
So we really couldn't do anything much. But I mean, I'm a gifts person, so I'm big on gifts. So I really expected you to just like shower me with gifts that day, you know, and just make it extra special. I mean, you did try. You made me breakfast that day, but you didn't give me a special gift. So that just felt some type of way. And I remember in the evening, we were like, oh, let's just go by the store and buy something. But, and for you, also, we're just getting married. So for you, going by the store to pick something for me that you would pay for was a nice gift. But for me, a good gift is a gift that is well thought out, where you've looked ahead of time, you've planned for it, you studied, what does my wife need? And what special thing can I give her this day to make her smile? Once I'm involved in the process, that's what's everything. Anyway, which I mentioned that year. So all this build-up is necessary to why it was very hard for me to forgive the second time. So my second birthday, I had already told myself that, oh, because the first time you made a mistake and didn't give me like a great gift the way I wanted, and I thought that I had communicated that to you. So my expectations for my second birthday was high. Like my expectations were really high. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for what you're going to dazzle me with. And we went on like a mini vacation with some of our friends to like a holiday resort. And my birthday was there. So I felt, oh, all the better. Like it's like vacation and birthday. So I was just expecting a big gift. And then that morning of the birthday, I asked, where's my gift? I said, oh, like there's no gift. Like the holiday is the gift. And I said, what do you mean the holiday is the gift? Are you not on the holiday as well? And bear in mind that our child was also on this holiday and they're also friends. Like, I was like, how is this a gift? So I felt really hurt by that because I thought that by this point in our marriage, you would have understood how important gifts were to me on my birthday. So it was hard because you know how you just feel like you've explained something to your spouse and they should understand this about you, but you realize that they don't, and you have to take out time to explain it again and forgive, you know. So it was just hard because I couldn't understand it. I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that you did not plan something. And especially because if it was me, I would have planned something. Yeah. But just in that moment, I think I was just like, I can't let my emotions ruin this birthday. So even though I'm upset, I just prayed through all I was feeling. And I told myself that I'm not going to spend my birthday being angry at my husband. I'm just going to let it go. Of course, he apologized. He was very sorry. I could see that he felt bad. I wanted to drag it so that, because I felt like another reason why it was hard to let it go was because I felt like, oh, it's because last year I let it go. I let him off too easy. I let it go easily. If last year I had dragged it for like 1 or 2 days, he wouldn't have tried it this year. But because last year I was quick to forgive, that's why this year he did it. And if I'm quicker to forgive this year, what's the assurance of what will happen next year? But I knew I couldn't do that. So I just had to communicate again, explain how much it hurt me, and then just like pray about it when I was struggling, and then just forgive. And the day still went ahead to be nice. So yeah, that was one hard thing for me to forgive.
I can remember it too clearly. And I was just, okay, so for me personally, my love language is quality time and physical touch. So I was thinking about it in the sense of your birthday. So the first birthday I messed up, I realized. So this second birthday, I was just like, okay, I need to do something better than last year. So what can I do? And then we're planning a vacation around your birthday. So she was like, oh, I'll work hard, save money, be able to pay for the vacation. And in my own in my own love language thinking, if we go on my birthday, if you take me somewhere, me and you, and we get to spend time together, and we spend time under the covers, touching, having sex and stuff, that's amazing for me. Like, I'm awesome. Do you understand? So I was just like, great work, Josh, you're doing a good work. But I had forgotten, because I know you love gifts. But then I knew this even before we got married, because before we got married, I gave you a lot of gifts. So I think it's something to also look out for as a guy getting married to a lady. There's I don't want to say see finish. There's the thing that, oh, I've chased you, I've got you, I'll relax. So I think that's what affected me to the way that I was now trying to speak my love language to you. So when I got there and I was just like, oh, I'm sure she would just be happy. Oh, I'm on a holiday. I don't have to cook. There's food, there's buffet, there's everything. I'm in a nice place. And then we get to have sex maybe later in the night and stuff. So it didn't work. But thank God, I actually approved myself.
Yes. You proved yourself over and over again. In fact, the next year, it was amazing. So I didn't even have to keep malice for change to happen. Yeah.
Well, I think for me, so normally, when I call you on the phone, a lot of the times, you don't pick. Not a lot of the time, sometimes you don't pick. And it kind of irks me. And I'm just like, why can't you? And every time when you pick, when I finally get through to you, after I've given like 1 million missed calls, you will now say, oh, sorry, you were not, the phone is on silent. The phone was silent. This is that. So I always just joke about it. I never spoke about it. Like, oh, this thing, I don't really like it and stuff. And then we now went to Lagos. We went to Lagos and we went to Balogun Market to shop for somebody that we love, Pastor Bisola. And while we were shopping in Lagos, I finished doing what because I escorted you because I didn't want to go alone. And then I finished what I needed to do. And you finished shopping for Pastor Bisola also. But you wanted to buy a few things for yourself and Pastor Jaja and stuff. So I said, I'll wait for you in the car. It was 3:25, and I started calling you, and then your phone was not connecting, it was not going. And I was just like, okay, no problem. Maybe it's network. I mean, let me give you a few minutes and try later. Or maybe you'll come. So this was now 3:40. I waited 3:40. Call, no connection. I started thinking, I was like, Jesus Christ, what has happened? What has happened? What will I tell Apostle? What will I tell Pastor Sela? What will I tell your mother, your father? That what happened? We went to market and Lagos. This Lagos that they used to carry people anyhow, kidnap and up and down and stuff like that. So I have that stereotypical idea of Lagos and it's wrong. But anyway, this scenario, this was what was playing in my head. And I was just like, what's going on? I called. I called until 4. Maybe, no. I called until like 3:55 thereabouts. And I couldn't take it anymore. I got up and I went to go and look for you. I went back to the place that you were, looked inside the shop, did not see you. Obviously, you had left. Walked up and down that place, Balogun Market, did not find. I went back, stood by the gate. I said, maybe you follow the different gate, because you know there's an exit gate. I went by the exit gate. I asked people around there. Nothing. I was just thinking. I'd already, God, I was so worried. So I in the car, prayed, and just said, I'll keep calling. Kept trying. And it wasn't like it was saying your phone was off or anything. It was just saying, not reachable. Only for me to see you coming. And I should have felt relief. But then I saw you coming, and you know, you like market. So you're coming back, and there was this smile you had on your face. Oh, I bought good things. Like, there's this smile you have when you've bought things that you're happy, especially when you go to Balogun Market. And I saw you smiling and skipping to my left. I think you were even whistling this Dixie or what. You were just happy. I was like, look at this woman. I was so mad. And it was so difficult for me to let go and stuff. Even when you came and you explained, oh, your phone was on airplane mode and stuff.
Because my battery was low. I was trying to preserve my battery.
To call me.
Yeah, I was trying to preserve my battery so I could call you when I was leaving.
Yeah.
But then I just forgot to remove it from airplane mode because I was like, oh, if you miss me, you would call me, forgetting that my phone was on airplane mode.
Yeah, so I was so worried, and you were talking to me about it, and at that point I wanted to be like a petulant child and throw a fit and not forgive you. But I think what happened in that moment was very therapeutic for me, because I tried to think about why am I feeling this way? Like, why do I feel so angry, so annoyed, even when we've learned how to communicate properly and everything. And then I thought about the fact that, that was the first time I was realizing that my dad traveled, said he was coming back, and then he died on the way. And from that moment, whenever I am apart from someone, I just think the worst. And I get anxious and I can't reach you and everything. And just thinking about that in that moment made me realize, oh, this is why this happened. And I quickly forgave you. And it made me realize that the fact that I can't reach you does not mean that you're dead. So I shouldn't be as much as anxious as that. And I just prayed about it and I let it go. So as guys, sometimes we feel like, no, we don't have things, emotional issues don't affect us in any way. But just going through that thought process in that moment made me realize that, oh, my dad's death affected me in this way. So whenever somebody travels or I can't reach someone, I think something has happened and all of that. So it just helped me ease out of that. And since then, if I call you and you don't pick, they'll say,
it's not like you call me and I don't pick often. Also, for me, I couldn't understand it because I was just like, first of all, I'm God's child. I'm protected by God. Don't you believe that God is constantly protecting me?
I do.
And I have the Holy Ghost inside of me. One. Two,
but
we've been married for 5 years. You know I love going to the market. When I go to the market, I always take time. Like, there's no single time I've gone to the market and said, I'll be back by 2. And I'll be back by 2. I always be back by 3 or 4. Because that's what happens to me when I'm in the market. Like, I literally lose track of time. So I expected that when we said, 3:30, latest 4, you would give me grace to say, because it's market, I know if she says 4, maybe latest 4:30, do you get? But you're not expecting me to come back early, when you know that I've never gone to the market and come back early. But, I mean, when I understood that you were finding it hard to let go, I said, okay, there has to be something deeper to this. There has to be a deeper reason why I would apologize, and you're finding it hard to forgive me in this instance. So I just continued apologizing, and I quit trying to explain. Like, I explained, but not over-explain, because I knew it was something deeper. And then you later opened up to say, it's because your father left and never came back, and that's why it was such an issue for you. And it just opened my eyes to the fact that if I'm ever apart from you for an extended period of time, I have to communicate through it all. Just to, for me, it's different. If whenever you go, I wouldn't have been worried until like 5. If I didn't see by 5, I'm just like, 1 hour has passed though. I would have been watching a movie or something. I wouldn't have been anxious. So I understand that it for you is different. So
Right. It was just therapeutic to talk about it and just think back and realize, okay, this is what happened, this is why it happened. And just walk through my emotions so that I don't allow my emotions cloud my thought. Because definitely you're a child of God. You're walking in purpose. God has you, and stuff. There are angels around you.
Exactly.
Anyway. All right. So, do you want to take the next question?
Okay. What's one thing in our marriage that you're really proud of?
One thing in our marriage that I'm really proud of. There are a lot of things, but one thing that I know for sure is our children. Like how involved we are in their lives and how we are raising them up to be wonderful girls and everything. I'm really proud of that. And to be honest, it's not easy.
Yeah,
it's definitely not easy. And we think we have to come to that standpoint where we figured out that in this point of our lives, we can't give ourselves so much to other things but our children. So we can't go out as much. We can't go on solo vacations as much, although we still try to do that. We can't make offhand plans like our friends who do not have children at that time usually did. Because I remember sometimes after church, our friends were like, we're going to this restaurant to go and eat. You guys want to come over? I was just like, first of all, we are tired.
Second,
we're not going normally without children. You're just going to eat, you just sit down, you relax and stuff. We will not relax.
Also, like we also have a Sunday routine.
Yes.
Where on Sundays we have to come home, have lunch, and put our children to sleep
so
that we can also rest. So going out on a Sunday just alters the entire family routine. And so there's a lot to consider. I'm
sorry to our friends who have invited us on Sunday and you have felt like, oh, we're trying to form too busy. I know you guys understand anyway. But it's when you are bringing children up, you have to realize that during that period, you're just going to have to dedicate more of your time. And it's okay that you can't have as much fun. It's okay that you can't go out with friends spontaneously. Yeah. It's okay that sometimes, even when you carefully plan to go out, things can happen. Plans can change.
Your children can alter your plans. I think another thing about having children is just like, we are in a different season of your life now, and that just makes it easier for us. So we don't sleep in. We don't sleep in on Saturdays and wake up late. I mean, once your children are up, you're up. Also, you have to wake up when your child is going to school. You have to wake up, prepare your child for school, take them to school, pick them up. So your child having children just alters your whole life schedule, and it can be, as much as it's so rewarding, it can be difficult and overwhelming. But one thing that has helped us is just every day telling ourselves that the single season of my life has passed, you know. And while I was in that season, there were benefits I had, there were things I enjoyed. But now I'm in a different season. I'm in the season where I'm a mother, where I'm parenting. So there are things that I can't enjoy now. And there are also things I'm enjoing now that I wasn't enjoying then. I mean, being a parent is actually pleasant and joyful. And having children are so much like, as much as it's stressful, it's so much joy and pleasant.
One thing that we're watching Idols and they had finished, they were playing their loop.
This loop sound.
And Hadassah and was just dancing. And when his loop stops,
they'll stop. They'll freeze. Like, when it starts, they'll start again. And then just watching them.
It was just so, we laughed till the tears came out of our eyes. So, I mean, there are times. So if you don't take this mindset, it's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be so overwhelming, and it will show in the way you raise your children. It will show, your children will realize that being a mother is stressful. They will just pick, they will pick that up. And they're very smart. Children are very smart, so they'll pick that up.
You don't want your children to feel like stress. You know, one thing I always say is that sometimes when people come to my home and my children are running around and making noise and they're like, keep quiet, I will say, this is their house. And if you are allowed to be quiet in your home, then your children are also allowed to be noisy in their home, because it's their home. If they can't be loud and noisy and run around outside, they should be able to do that in their home, because this is their safe space. This is where they should be comfortable.
My children, they are girls and they scream. Like, they will just be screaming for no reason other than they are playing. Like, high-pitched screaming. And when they go out, I realize they don't do that out. They don't do that out. They're very quiet, not as quiet, but they're not as loud when they're out.
I mean, our second daughter is a lot more quiet outside than our first daughter. Our first daughter,
but she's still quiet.
Relatively more quiet than when she's at home.
So you just have to be okay with it, and that's the time will pass. A time is coming where it's just be me and my beautiful wife, and we will have as much fun as we can then. But now we're giving ourselves to parenting, and that's why.
I just remembered. I mean, I'm supposed to answer my side of the question, but I just remembered a little question I want to deviate from. Just one thing as a parent now that gives me so much joy in this moment. And one thing for me is just Eliora calling me mommy. So she just started calling me mommy, and she just called mommy. For no reason.
Mommy.
She can just call me mommy 10 times. She can just look for me, mommy. And it's just so cute to me, you know, that she just calls me mommy, and that just makes me happy. This moment. What makes you happy?
I think it's just those times where Eliora will just come and climb my body and give me a kiss on my cheek. Or Hadassah will just hold my head. Daddy, you're so fine. Or when I go to the gym and come back. Because Hadassah thinks going to the gym means you go, you get power, and you're different.
Superhero.
They say, so Daddy, are you strong now? When I come back, are you strong now? They say, so yesterday we were coming on, she was like, Daddy, do your muscle for me. And now
show me your power.
Wow, oh my God.
You're the strongest daddy in the world.
Yes.
Like, thank you so much.
So moments like that. Moments like that.
Yeah, I also remember like last night, I was just lying on the couch and she just came and sat on my tummy and she was playing with my tummy and she said, "Oh, I love your tummy so much." And I'm just like, I'm just like, I need to reduce my big stomach, and she just came and affirmed me, "I love your tummy so much." And then we're just having conversations about different things. I remember she asked me that, how can Jesus be in my heart? Or I asked her, we're singing a song about Jesus in your heart. So I now said, is Jesus in your heart? She said she doesn't know. And I said, why don't you know? She said she's not sure. And I said, okay, have you asked Jesus to come into your heart? She said no, but I know she has, but she doesn't remember. So I went over the prayer with her again and I said, now you've asked Jesus to come into your heart. Jesus is in your heart. So just those little moments where you can have conversations, with them and teach them, so beautiful. So it's so rewarding to give up those things for the pleasure of parenting in these moments. One thing in our marriage I'm really proud of is just the fact that we are real with each other. That I love the authentic relationship we share. I love that when we take pictures and I'm smiling, like I'm not pretending to smile. I'm not pretending to be happy. Like I'm not pretending to love you. I'm not pretending to kiss you. Like I genuinely love you in every moment. I just love that our marriage is genuine,
Yeah, so it's something you said, Seth. You said you like looking at me when I'm preaching. So you be undressing me.
I don't undress you.
It's your eyes.
Please, I don't undress.
Now you say that you
admire the exterior.
Now you're saying that you don't look like you want to kiss me. You actually want to kiss me. So I'm outside and you want to just be attacking my lips.
You are misconstruing. How do we get here?
I understand.
Anyway, as I was saying,
I understand.
do you know what? That's it. I'm done with this point.
Okay.
The next question would be, how do you handle it when you have negative emotions towards me? Because obviously in our marriage, we love each other genuinely, but there are times where we upset each other and where we feel negative emotions towards each other. So how do you handle it, like in those times where you feel negative emotions towards me?
So I think for me, there's a constant reminder of who you are beside this situation that just happened. Like I always try to remind myself that this is somebody who loves me, who's empathetic to me, who goes out of the way for me. Just remind myself that you love me, you love me, you love me, you love me. And then from that, I'm able to remove myself from feeling negative emotions towards you to thinking about it critically. So, okay, this thing happened. How do I communicate to you that this thing that happened made me feel this way so that we can properly talk about it? So, yeah, when I feel negative emotions, I just try to look at it holistically. This person actually loves me, but this scenario makes me feel this way. So what can we do about the fact that this scenario makes me feel this way together as a team? It's not, I'm saying it's like it's a very easy, smooth process. Sometimes it's jumbled up, but the outcome is we talk about, okay, this thing makes me feel this way, but that's just the process. What about you?
I mean, for me, I would say it's the same thing as well.
No.
I remember last night we had said, you had said, let's go to bed on time. And then you had a football match, which you had started before we put our children to bed. So after our children's bedtime routine, I just assumed that as soon as we put them to bed, we are going to the room together. Now, I went to bed and I was waiting for my husband who has set appointments to come and meet me. So in that moment, I was just like, am I not important to you? Is this meeting not important to you as it is to me? Is watching soccer more important? But as I was having and feeling those emotions, you know, I realized that you have proved to me several times how important I am to you. And a lot of times, like there are many football matches you've given up that you don't watch. A lot of times you don't even watch soccer, to be honest. You just like watch highlights or just like read about it online or just watch snippets or whatever. So you don't spend a lot of time watching that. So if you are doing this today, it doesn't mean you don't love me. It's just an exception and maybe go carried away. So I just made that excuse for you. And that was how I dealt with the negative emotions. And when I noticed they were trying to persist, I started reading my Bible. I said, if I read my see, there are some things that will kill negative emotions immediately. Just start a spiritual activity. For example, if you are feeling negative emotions towards your spouse and you start praying, I assure you those emotions will evaporate. Or you start reading your Bible. it's gonna go. So I just said, even after rationalizing all this, I was still feeling some negative emotions. I just picked up my Bible. I said, oh yeah, time to read.
I mean, for me, what happened was the football club is Chelsea and they've been playing rubbish for how long? And it's been so heartbreaking. So for the past 3 games, we've played amazing and we've won. So this is the 4th game and I'm just like, okay, I can watch, let me just watch some part of it. Do you understand? We already had our plans and everything. So we already put them to bed and done all of that. And I just said, okay, let me just come and stand and watch. And you know, there's this thing as a football fan, you feel like if you don't stand and watch, they will mess up. If you don't see them through, they will mess up.
It have you guys on a chokehold.
So I was just standing and I was watching. And then the captain, James, they fouled him, and as he was falling to the floor, he kicked the person that fouled him, and the person fell down. I was just like, what's rubbish? Like, that's so unnecessary. They can give you red card. Like, why are you even, why you think, and you're a captain? I was like, this is what I'm choosing over my beautiful wife. You're not even worth it. I off the TV.
Maybe that's why that's why I was giving you foul. God was trying to save your marriage. God was trying to save the night for you.
I just said
it would have been a lost night.
And it was a wonderful night. But I just said, you know what? You're not worth it. I switched off everything and I went to sleep. And when I woke up the next morning, they gave him red card. They scored 1 goal, but we still won, thankfully. But what if
you would have
we had lost? I was just like,
what if you had lost and you had come to your room, your wife was angry with you, she had slept off, no chance of sex, you know? Thank God. Anyway, thank God the situation was salvaged.
I left it. I said, you people are not worth it. Whatever happens, should happen. I don't care. I went inside.
All right, our next question.
Yes, so the next question is, what's one thing you think we are really good at as a couple?
Wow. I would say I think we are really good at managing our emotions.
Okay.
You know, I don't think since we got married, I don't think we've ever let our emotions take a hold of us and take us to places we don't want to go. Yeah. We've never intentionally hurt each other.
With words.
Yeah. We've never intentionally hurt each other. We've never said abusive words towards each other. We handle our emotions well and we do our best not to let our emotions hurt or affect the other person. Yeah. We don't do passive aggression, you know, all those things. Yeah, I think that's one thing we do good.
Yeah, but I think one thing we do good, and another thing I think we do good is prioritizing sex.
Yeah.
Like I think we do a great job of that, and it shows in how awesome sex has been. Like, sex is a very vulnerable thing. Like, you think sex is what the movie makes out to be. It's not.
It's not.
It's very vulnerable, and you have to put a lot of work in it. A lot of work goes into sex. My God. But the benefits are amazing. It's a very vulnerable act. And just having to talk about the issues in it, doing an after-action review, that's very difficult for a guy. Because as a man, you want to do that, oh, I'm pleasing my wife. She's awesome. Every time was a hit. But hearing, okay, I would like this to be done better. Yeah. And so just having that conversation actually makes sex better. Yeah. So from year in, year out, our sex has gotten so much better. And I love how intentional we are about it. So I'd like to say that we are sex experts when it comes to two of us. Yes, so.
All right. So I would have been shy before, but I mean, 5 years.
You're twirling your this.
Oh, so 5 years of married, 2 children later, I'm not really shy.
I mean, but you're so much shy. You're twirling your hair.
I also want to say that sex is like a byproduct of other aspects of your relationship.
100%,
so
100%.
If other parts of your relationship, like your intimacy, communication, and other parts are strained, it's going to affect sex. The problem is that a lot of couples think sex is on its own.
Yeah.
So we did not really talk during the day, but it should not affect sex.
Yeah.
We are having problem in our finances, but it should not affect sex.
Yeah.
It should not affect sex. Everything affects sex. Yeah. Like sex, if every other thing is good, sex will be great. If every other thing is bad, sex will be bad. Yeah. So yeah, that's very important to know about sex in a marriage.
People feel sex is the main thing about a marriage, but it's an addendum. It's a resulting factor of something that is great already.
Yeah. If you are watching this video right now, please like it, share with someone that you think will benefit from this, and also subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe.
Yeah. Actually, from
Please
the
subscribe.
statistics of this channel,
we
realize a lot of people who watch are not subscribed. So it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Hit that button, subscribe, so that when we drop a video, you can see it. Also, it helps this video on the algorithm when you like and subscribe, for people to see, more people to see our content. So please
also
subscribe.
Comments. We love to read your comments.
Yes, we do.
We may not get to reply everything, but it means so much to us. I'll try to do better with replying, because I'm mostly the one that that responds.
I should edit.
Post. He's in charge of editing and posting. I'm in charge of replying comments, and I fail, but I'm going to try my best. Please comment and subscribe, and tell everyone you know to subscribe.
I believe you. I know you do better.